Hi, welcome back to Business Analytics course. Today we'll start discussing why visualization matters, and I'll follow up on it with some core visualization charts, namely bar charts, line charts, a pie chart and a scatter plot. So first things first, why visualization matters, right? Imagine that you are an analyst, you've just joined analytics team and you have done a comprehensive report on your brand's pricing changes and you are presenting this analysis to your CMO and his team. You put together data from various sources, built a good model, and being very savvy about these analytic techniques, you are trying to explain these models with equations. But then the CMO is stopping you to say, tell me what's the 5% price change on my brand leading to my market share change or my competitors' market share. How does it affect that? Your junior then just puts a sheet of numbers listing market share changes for your SKUs and competitor SKUs, about 50 numbers on an Excel sheet, and the CMO is just about to scream for some simplification with this barrage of numbers, right? You then quickly recover and show him a pie chart of your brand share before and after the price change, right? So when you've shown that, what you have actually done is aggregated shares of all your SKUs to a brand share. Instead of showing 50 SKU shares, you have shown your brand share and competitive brand share. And the whole gathering is happy to read the whole analysis and understand that basically the price change has not led to competitors eating too much into your share significantly, right? The meeting concludes very well. There are numerous visualization techniques. We need to know which ones to use when. I'm going to cover some of the most common ones, and let's start with classic bar chart, right? So imagine you basically work for an NGO which is working on women's education in poorest regions of the world, right? You've done a literacy program in certain sub-Saharan African countries, right? And you have therefore gathered data about those countries by gender, and you want to understand whether your program has worked at all, right? A bar chart can help you visualize the differences between different countries and by different genders, and before your program was run and after your program was run, right? So here you would aggregate literacy rate by country and by gender in each country. And the bar chart that you see beside is where you have just juxtaposed last year's and this year's data in the form of a bar chart, and you are examining that your literacy program has worked where the literacy rates have gone up as seen in the bar chart already, right? So it's a simple visualization which lets you examine different entities and a common metric among them, right? It's a simple, straightforward method for comparing metrics with categorical labels as one of the factors in that data, right? The second important chart is line chart. It's very commonplace chart. You may have seen a lot of trend graphs everywhere. Let's say we want to analyze trends in global temperature, as is the chart next to you. This particular temperature has been rising over the past century across continents, across countries, and the line chart is our go-to choice. It shows continuous change in data over time, and visualizing trends is very easy indeed with this chart, right? So typically line chart has time on x-axis and metric whose trend is examined on the y-axis. The third commonplace chart is pie chart. So we have seen them in many business meetings. It's favorite at business meetings, as pie is favorite as a dessert. Pie charts are great for illustrating proportions. So like market share for each product in your company's portfolio. You may have seen the famous example of Apple's pie chart for its revenues. where you can clearly see the staggering more than half of the revenues come from iPhones. Fourth chart, essentially important chart, is scatter plot. Is perfect for showing relationships between two continuous variables. So you are interested in investigating, let's say, connection between country's GDP and its life expectancy. A scatter plot can quickly help us examine that relationship. Is there a connection between expectancy and the country's GDP? It quickly helps us understanding relationships, if any, also spot any outliers, right? So these are typically used when you have two continuous or numeric variables. They essentially suggest any relationship between two variables, like it will be a linear or non-linear pattern on the graph. And these are very useful in building models where you want to use one variable as an explanation for some other important metric, right? So this is about the scatter plots. I'm going to talk about two more advanced techniques which are very commonplace. The first one is what are called as tree maps. So tree maps is a chart used for representing hierarchy. So you want to visualize hierarchy, let's say the company's organization structure or how the website is structured on its sitemap. So that is shown through a tree map. Another useful tool is what is called as heat map. So heat map is, as the name goes, it uses color to represent data density, right? So if you have a large data set and you are interested in finding patterns which are based on the density, you would use heat map. So think of the restaurants in a city and you have a map of the city. The concentration of restaurants will appear as a dense color notation on a heat map. Or let's say you are trying to look at website visitor behavior, where exactly people are clicking more often on your website. That is represented through a heat map. Now, having seen these common, important and useful charts, we would want to check the tools that are available for you beyond Excel sheet to do this charting. That's the topic for next lecture. Thank you and see you there.